host, Common Man, also known as Brandon. And I haven't done this video yet, so thought I might as well give it a try. It is a what's in the bag. Hold on, give me a second. This bag's not gonna cut it. I gotta upgrade. Give me 1 second. We're just 1 week away from the Long Drive World Championship, and that bag's just not gonna cut anymore. So I bring in the Michelob Ultra golf bag. I think it's the same size, similar size as the one I have, way better looking, all the same pockets, all the accessories you need, even more so padded. Look at that. Lightweight. I mean, it's beautiful. Red, white, and blue. Can't beat it. And I think it's time to get rid of the old Callaway bag and upgrade you. Let's go through the bag. So first we'll start with my wedges. All three of my wedges are Cleveland's. I don't think they came out at the same time or the same year. I play a 64 degree, a 60 degree, and a 54 degree. My 64 degree is a Cleveland RTX 3. It's got my little stamped initials on it. This was a birthday gift from my wife. Project X shaft. Yeah, it's my 64 degree. This is the club you see me chunking and blading balls over the greens. Some would say just take a 60 degree and swing less instead of what I do, which is take my 64 degree and swing it full, which I don't think anybody that's good does that. Anyways, that's my 64 degree. All right, next is my 60 degree. It is so that one, my 64 was an RTX 3. My Cleveland 60 degree is an RTX 4, so it's just like the newer model. One of the first weekends I got it, I hit it off a route I didn't see, and that's why you have that beautiful mark. But anyways, it's a gorgeous club. I use this from about 100 to 115 yards from the green. If I full swing it, it's about 115. If I'm just trying to choke something down and poke it low or have a low ball flight, I can hit it like 100. Anyways, this has the similar shaft that's in all my irons. I'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, that's my 60 degree. All right, an Old Faithful. I've had this longer than my other two wedges. It is my 54 degree. I don't love my gapping in my wedges. I have a 54, a 60, and a 64. And I got all my wedges at different times, and I didn't really know that much about gapping in your wedges when I bought them. So I just was like, oh, I'll get that number wedge, and I'll get that number wedge. And so I have this really awkward number between my 60 and my 54 and my, let's see, there's 6 degrees between my 54 and my 60, and then there's a lot between my 54 and my pitching wedge. So I kind of want to redo my wedges. I'm not that good at swing wedges, so it doesn't really matter what they are if you can't hit them good. But yeah, this is my 54 degree. It is a Cleveland CG15, and I actually love this model more than I do the newer ones, personally. I just like how it looks behind the ball. Usually I hit my 54 135 to 140, and so there is a huge gap between like my 54 and my 60. There's like a 30-yard gap, and then there's like a 30-yard gap between my 54 and my pitching wedge. So I got to figure out how to close those in. I get a lot of awkward yardages when I drive it well, and that's not what you want. So yeah, that's my wedges. All three of them Cleveland's. Next on the board are my 7-iron through pitching wedge. I kind of, if I go back in time, I wish I would have got my 4-iron through pitching wedge because I just love the look of these clubs. I love the feel of the clubs. I just wanted something that had a little more forgiveness in my 4 to 6 iron. So that's why in my 7 to pitch, I did the I did these clubs. These are the Mizuno MP18 SCs. They're a little more forgiving than blades, but also give you the feel that you need if you're a little bit better of a player. So I get a lot more feedback from these. These shafts, so the shafts on all my irons are KBS Tour. They're kind of like, they look graphite, but they're not. They're like super intense, insane steel. Someone else might know more about them, but they're like extra stiff. They're KBS Tour, C-taper, 130 grams extra stiff. So they look something like that. And on all my irons, I have good old Golf Pride, black and white. I'm a neutral guy. I mean, I'm not a neutral guy, but in terms of like my fashion and like what paint is on my house walls, you just can't ever get like annoyed, or it never gets old. Black and white never gets old. Gray never gets old. So I went with something that I wouldn't get tired of after just like 2 years. So they're all lame and black and white. My 4 to 6 irons are different than my 7 pitch and wedge. In my 4 to 6, I have they're still Mizuno's. They're just the JPX 919s. They are forged, and it's not like they're game improvement. It's just, when you're talking about your 4 to 6 irons, and you know, we only play like once a week, once every 2 weeks. I wanted to get something that, you know, when I'm 200 to 240 out, those clubs are hard enough to hit as it is. So I didn't want something that didn't have a lot of forgiveness. So I just got the step above, a little more game improvement than my MPSCs. So still have a beautiful top line. It's not like they're bulky by any stretch. You can kind of see, so you still got to hit them solid, but there is a little more forgiveness there. And yeah, I love these as well. They make a great sound when you hit them solid, and they fly off the club face. So same shaft as my 7 to pitch and wedge, same grips as my 7 pitch and wedge. And arguably my favorite club in my bag when I'm hitting it well is my TaylorMade 2 iron. It's way bulkier, you can tell, but it's not like, it's not as bulky as a hybrid, and it's not as bulky as a lot of driving irons you can get. So it still has some feel to it and some feedback. You definitely know when you mishit it. But it's something that when I'm hitting it well off the tee, I love this thing. It's in a similar shaft as my other irons. I actually bought this used off the shelf, and it already had a still KBS Tour C-taper as well, but it's 115 grams. Unfortunately, it is coming off of the shaft. The club head is, so right now, you can hear that. Right now, it's out of commission. I think it just needs a new glue job, so I just need to find someone to do it, or do it myself. Anyways, right now I have 2 drivers in my bag, and that's because I have started competing in long drive competitions. So my regular driver, let's call it, I love, but I needed something with a longer shaft for competitions or competing. But anyways, we'll start with my in-game driver, what I use on the course. It's a 45-inch shaft. So the shaft in this is it's called the Rogue, and it says 130 MSI. I don't know what that means, honestly, but I love this driver. It's a Callaway Maverick, very popular on the PGA Tour. So it's a 10.5 degree. I think I have it at, yeah, I have it set at 9.5 degrees right now. But I love this driver. It sounds and feels super solid off the club face. I love these grips as well. Anyways, yeah, Callaway, they make great stuff. They make great drivers, arguably the best on tour. So yeah, I have no complaints about this club. All right, folks, finally the Big Daddy. It is also a Callaway, and at standard it's 5 degrees of loft, and it is the Epic Speed. Very small club head, very small club head. Obviously it's very straight. A 5 degree loft driver can be very intimidating to look at. It has a 48-inch shaft, and there's actually a pretty good amount of give in this thing. And then it's also got a Golf Pride grip. It's white. It's like that tennis tacky grip, which I have no complaints about that as well. It's called the Tour Wrap. It took me a long time to figure out how to hit this thing even slightly good. It's coming a long ways, and hopefully she'll treat me well coming this weekend, so we'll see. Everybody say hey to Gator. This is my club head, my driver club head cover on my game driver. Recently got called Gator, and no shame in my game. It's because apparently my teeth, the gapping in my teeth, look like a gator. So I just embraced it, and I'm just gonna go with the name Gator. I forgot to mention, last but not least, my putter. I know what you're thinking. If you watch my videos, it looks like I miss a crap ton of putts, but I actually like this putter. And looking at my stroke, my one-handed stroke in the video, that's probably evident of why I miss a lot of putts. But it's a very square face putter. It doesn't look like, I get a lot of putters sometimes and they like rest open. This thing rests very closed, well not very closed, very square, and I like that. So yeah, this is it's a White Hot Odyssey V-line. Like this thing a lot. It's pretty solid. And not that I putt great, but there are moments, I do have moments that I putt well, and it doesn't hurt to have a putter you like and it feels good in your hand. So got a pretty normal grip on it. I used to have a Super Stroke, but I blame the Super Stroke for missing putts, so I just went with a standard. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright guys, thanks for watching this episode of Common Man Country Club. A little what's in the bag for you, so now you know what I'm swinging in all these awesome videos we make. And now that I got my new bag and all my drivers in there, I'm ready to rock and roll for the World Long Drive Championship. So check it out and cheer me on, and hopefully I can just compete and perform decently well. So thanks for watching this episode. See you next time. Chicka.